one of the bricks in the pyramid, like deep inside, like one of the stone was like it kind of like this the stone layer, the surface layer peeled off and exposing the bricks inside of it. I found that to be the one of the most interesting thing I ever seen with regard to pyramids.
Another interesting thing about the pyramids is you see the size of those stones and how closely they fit together. Like they are snug, huge stones. How did they do that?
Yeah, that's the same thing with the stones that was discovered, well not discovered, but uh the guy that you shared the link with me was expressing and showing that these same stones, I think I mentioned that to you last time where um I said there was like unexplained building stones, walls, and that place close to Israel. What is that place called? Lebanon. And it kind of looked like the same place. It kind of looked like the same structure type. The one in Lebanon is a lot bigger, huger. Um, if I'm correct in my analyzing the size on the screen, but there's similar, structures, walls, and big stones that have been somehow miraculously just got stacked up. This is interesting stuff that nobody really talks about in the mainstream. And when they do talk about it, they want you to believe something that your brain just refused to accept, at least for some of us. It's just one of these things that's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the school system, 7 years of Catholic school, and then the rest of it was public school, I just bought into the whole history thing where, yeah, they had horses and buggies, but yet they were able to build these magnificent structures because they were a lot tougher back then than we are now. All these really intricate, ornate statues and stuff, they used a chisel.
Yeah.
And they did it in like a third of the time it would take us to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't match up, does it?
No, not
Because
at all.
in the structures, it doesn't match up with the people that's next to them.
Because you have the structures, and then in the supposed historic photographs, you'll have a little wood hut next to it. Like, oh, that's where the workers lived. So the workers lived in some ramshackle log cabin, and then you have this magnificent structure right beside it. There's something wrong here.
Yeah, and we touched on that last time too. And even in Haiti, like a little country like Haiti, there's structures that's unexplained, which is telling. It's all over the world. And and really, I think it's in the early 1900s that it seems like people that just come into existence. Well, as far as we could tell about, you know, um, recorded history, it's only there that we started seeing. But then again, and in the late 1800s, they had photograph pictures. I think
Yep, yep.
yeah. So you know, that just tells you that a lot of the technology, I think the photograph actually become mainstream really like in the what um 1940s or something where somebody could actually go buy like regular person go out and buy a camera. But
I
we're
think you're
talking
right.
about
I think that's about right. The timeline you're
1800s,
talking about.
late 1800s. There's cameras, pictures of uh hybrid view of cities, like these things questionable.
And a lot of the pictures, people are seeing that even though they did have that technology in the late 1800s, they also had their version of Photoshop
Yeah,
where
Photoshop.
they would like take a picture and then they would do something as crude as cut something out and superimpose it on top of the picture.
Yeah.
Like when they show, uh, there's a couple pictures of like San Francisco or San Diego, one of those big cities out there in California, supposedly in like 1865 or something like that. And you see all these magnificent buildings, stonework, brickwork, and when you look at it like it's like a taken from a high vantage point, you don't see any people. But
Yeah.
then when you get down into the city, it's like they pasted the people onto the streets
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
deserted.
Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of these devices, even cars. I was gonna say that I was changing a battery in a Mercedes Benz the other day. I don't like Mercedes Benz, by the way. It was my um French car, and you know, you gotta unscrew something on the top. Great, okay, that came off fairly well. And then to lift the battery up, no, it's not going anywhere. You gotta unscrew something. You need a long, type of. It's nonsense. And then when you finally take it out, you take the top off the terminals. You take it out and you put the new battery on. Then the car gives you a crazy code, and you know, I went to the shop with the car. Um, my mechanic guy wasn't there. He asked me to come on Monday, but there was somebody else. And they had a tire shop next to it. He had one of them little computers to try to reset it. When he tried to reset it, he found 19 codes. His little computer was able to clear most of it because there was only five left, and the battery code was still there, which is, you know, unthinkable, like for for the past cars, the way they used to make them, and the past devices, the way they used to make them. I remember a friend of mine told me that they actually in the islands. He told me they got a stove that was there before I was born, and it's still working.
Yeah,
I changed my
that's true.
stove four times already.
It's like the cars that I used to have. You could change your own spark plugs,
Yeah.
um, change your oil. Heck, I even replaced the alternator belt. And actually, in old owner's manuals from the 70s, they tell you how to change the spark plugs and the spark plug wires and things like that in
Yeah,
the owner's manual.
that's supposed, but I think that could be a manly thing. I mean, I actually like to get into stuff. I just like to get into it, and a lot of time I break stuff. But yeah, I learned what not to mess with, to let the expert mess with, and it's like learning type thing for me to just go in there head first. I'm a lot careful nowadays because I break a lot of stuff already.
Yeah, it's very easy to take something apart. It's an entirely different thing to put it back together
Yeah, yes.
correctly.
Mhm.
And if you break something, now what happens? So that's one thing when I was a young man, uh like I worked on golf courses for a lot of my life, and we would change the oil in the easy go golf cart fleet. We'd change the oil every so often. And they took me off that job because I kept snapping the heads off of bolts because I didn't have the finesse to do that. Or I don't know how many folks out there know how to change a tire on a car these days. Probably not many. But
Yeah, right.
I used to carry around a whole ass floor jack. Not one of those cheap little chintzy jacks you get with the car, but a floor jack and a four-way, not one of those goofy little curved wrenches. And I carried around a full tire, not a donut.
Yeah.
And I snapped the lug nut off. And my friend was like, "Bro, you got to calm down. You don't have to reef on it. It's just snug it. That's all you got to do is snug it." It's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah, yeah. And nowadays, I got, well, I learned a trick. I bring my drill. It's in my trunk, so that when I need to change a tire, I just, you never done that before. You just put the drill in the pretzel looking thing they gave you, and then you within like 5 seconds you could elevate the car.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You put the drill in between. When time to go. When you put it down, you gotta slow. You put that press it slow so it could.
Like an air mattress.
Yeah, it's sort of like.
But it'd be
And
nice to
you
be
saw
nice to
that.
carry around air tools in your car. So if you had to change a tire, you just go zoop, 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 zoop.
that I think that's an overkill. You would need the tank in the trunk.
Yeah, carry a little air compressor in there. Well, actually, it would have to be. I don't think you can use one of the little ones, can you? It has to be
Why
bigger
not?
for it.
It's just if it's air compressed, I mean,
Might not have enough air.
yeah, it depends on the PSI the pressure it could handle. Yeah. To change subject slightly, you've seen the White House meeting with Zelensky last week. It just popped up in my feed.
Zelensky, the guy that's the comedian, actor, dancing homosexual guy.
Well, damn, I didn't know all that, but okay.
Nothing against homosexuals or nothing, but I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of this guy dressed in like a leather bondage outfit and dancing with other men, and he has lipstick on and stuff. It's
Oh,
Zelensky.
oh, okay. Well, that makes sense because they had him in I think I believe in Congress cheering him on. We got your back. Go for it. Go for the war. Go after Russia. We got your back.
Right.
That was a big elaborate scene they made a few years ago.
I
I
remember
remember
that.
that clearly because it was on every channel for some reason. Like they wanted the world to see that. And
But
just the other day, I'm watching how they completely, that's just to show you how you could trust people to be exactly who they are.
yep. And that's exactly what happened when Zelensky met with Trump and Vance
Yeah,
in the White House there.
can you imagine coming for help, literally like begging for help and from the people that actually you're supposed to be in a certain situation with, and it's just the way they it 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 kind of because I'm from Haiti and it, it's just bring this the same ideas, thoughts that happened in Haiti, like to your TV screen. They tell them straight up, you don't have the car. I mean, what are you gonna? You wanna go? It's either like they literally tell them, you, you go. Whatever happens to you, what happens to you, which is kind of like what happened in Haiti. It's like every single president that's trying to once they realize certain things and they say, okay, we're gonna, of course also crooks, but whenever they try to insinuate any kind of actual change, transition, it ain't gonna happen. They want to scramble the whole thing up again. Just leave it how it is. We don't want that. Um, they just kind of remind me of that
Well, I
situation.
think with the as they call it, the Ukraine with Ukraine. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but it was explained to me, and I finally understood what we're told is going on there. Maybe we're not told the whole story, but Ukraine is not a UN
Or
member,
NATO, yeah,
and Russia, of course, is not.
no,
And so Russia does not want Ukraine. That's the one condition that they had. They said, "We will leave Ukraine alone as long as they never become a part of the United Nations.
Yeah.
We will leave them alone. They can do what they want. Well, Zelensky, I guess, because those guys have been fighting on and off for many, many years. But Zelensky decided to get backing from other countries and then decided, okay, we're gonna join. And then Putin said, I told you, don't do it
Yeah.
because I don't want the UN on my back porch.
Right.
So it was explained to me like this, like if you're in the United States and Russia and Mexico decides to become partners with Russia, Mexico decides to become a communist country. Do you think the United States is going to let them do that?
Of course not. You see what they did in Cuba.
It's the same thing.
They're not trying to have that, and it makes
So
sense.
it's the same thing with Ukraine. Putin doesn't want that shit in his backyard.
Yeah, and the thing is with these superpowers, to kind of like break you know uh just picture this, this worldwide footage that we was talking about earlier. These guys know about it. Obviously, they know what the hell is going on. They're not telling us. Okay, so what was I gonna say? Um, yeah, Putin and other nations that are nuclear powered, right? They're nuclear powered,
Right?
and they have certain leverage in the world stage with the other superpowers. And I think that's why, you ever heard of a country called Iran? I think that's why they don't want Iran to, be successful in having nuclear power, because then they would have to compromise, even though they got all these sanctions in Russia and all of that. They know there's certain things that just is certainly out of the question. The superpowers, China already have nuclear weapons, and then Russia already have nuclear weapons, and they're not going to attack. I don't care how many times they threaten to attack these countries. They know it's not going to be pretty. And who knows? You know, I forgot. I don't know his name. Do you know his name? The guy that you share the videos with, because he had a very interesting point of explaining that how a lot of these structures was actually burnt down, melted from some kind of intense fire.
Oh, his name is John Levi.
John Levi. Okay, Levi. That's interesting. Um, and when I watch stuff, I just watch it. I don't even necessarily remember people today. And yeah, he had a very interesting point, because a lot of these things are questionable. They're very interesting, and we don't have the answers to that. And the way they're buried too is pretty much unexplainable, uh, unless you want to come up with your own theory, which is a good one. It was melted because you could see signs of, something melting, like rocks, like you know it had to be something of a nuclear capacity of some sort, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
You
We're
know,
just speculating.
some folks have a theory that nuclear weapons don't exist.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah, because that because if you ever watch any of their testings, they try to you know send nuclear weapons out of space and ignite them, and it had some kind of cosmic and some kind of effect on Earth, which they pass legislation worldwide, whatever, to stop doing that, because every time they would explode nuclear nuclear bomb out of space, it would have some catastrophic effect down here somewhere somehow, and all the particles will fall into the Earth and all of that. And mind you, like these big nations that supposedly have nuclear weapons, they are also um at in outer space. And somehow some in some areas for some purposes or another. And they're all like buddies. I don't think they would want to if they know something, they're not telling us. They damn sure wouldn't. I believe to play along, they would let us fight. And I don't know, maybe go back underground and come back in another 100 years and try again.
Well, here's something even more far out than that as to why these structures are melted. Since we're going out there into the left
Oh
field,
yes, let's do it.
dragons.
Oh, dragons, huh? Like in the Mario games?
Yeah, we're like the Lord of the Rings from actually before my day and age, but I was in third grade when I first read the Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien, which was written during World War One, I think World War One. But yeah, dragons. And the theory is that if you look at ancient coats of arms and you look at ancient artwork and stories, there are dragons and giants in these stories.
Well, anything is possible in a dream.
It is interesting that dragons, around the time when this supposed reset happened that people talk about, the mud flood, whatever word you want to call it, is around the time when some history books say that the dragons were killed, that there was an empire of the dragon, i.e., Tartaria, and that whatever they had going on with the nice structures that they had and the Great Wall of China, which, if you look at it, is not from China at all. It's actually the way the walls are facing, it's meant to keep the Chinese in China.
Ah.
Not it's to, you know what I mean? It was
Oh,
built
okay.
it was
Hmm.
built by people outside of China to keep whatever was in China. But
Hmm.
it was like the dragon
That's
was
an
killed,
interesting perspective.
supposedly. And
Hmm.
then the reset happened, and now all of a sudden, all this technology is lost. We're back to horses and buggies. We have no indoor plumbing,
Yeah.
no power tools.
Yeah.
So that's just an interesting theory. It's as good as anything else. I mean, if you believe, not you, Ricardo, but if you, the viewer, or anyone else there out there believes that the Lord Jesus Christ is your savior, well, it's not too much of a leap to also believe in dragons, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, a belief is a belief, right? It still stands as that, just a belief. But a lot of people have a lot of issues with me because I say stuff like that. They don't like it, and I don't see anything wrong with it. But what's right in front of me, and they just don't sit well with that. They like to believe, and they like their belief to be something other than belief, which makes no sense to me. But okay. Um, I don't kick big rocks if I see somebody that that's really passionate about their little pet theory. I let him have it. You know, I don't get into a muffle stuffle with them. And yeah, and yeah, that's one of the biggest issue I have with, and a lot of time my mouth is a traitor. It makes noise with when I hear certain things. Yeah, and I don't, but I see no evidence of proof of it, and somebody's just saying it. My mouth makes some kind of noise. How do you know that's true? Like something like that, and then to have him start tap dancing. Here comes the dance again. I see it all the time in every way, shape, or form. Whoever it is that claim to know something that they don't really know.
That reminds me of something that I did a couple days ago. I went back on TikTok and basically went into religious people's live streams where they have goofy ass titles like Jesus was a Muslim or Jesus was born of a virgin, prove me wrong. Just goofy titles like this. And the one that I went into said something like, "Why do you think your God is the true God?" And I just commented and I said something like, "Your your title starts from a false premise. You're presuming that there is a God. First, we have to prove that before we can decide if there's more than one or who's best." Now I'll just say things like that and no one pays attention to me. Even if there's only like 9 viewers viewing the video, they will ignore the shit out of me. It's hilarious.
It's you see language too like plays a big role in how we process thing and our reaction to it. And when you ask somebody anything, why anything, that person automatically get like in a defensive mode. So um I like to I prefer to use the words like open-ended words such as I don't know why it's an open-ended word too, but it's like people get very defensive when they hear why, you know, and I like to use the word what, what made you this, that, or how, how did you come to that conclusion? This is where the dance starts, when you because now the subconscious, which knows the answer, which knows who's speaking, the question, the answer to the question I'm asking. But their little conscious mind, because they're smart, this is why they think they're smart. Yeah, they are smart at themselves all the time, and they're forced to answer the question, and then that's when it becomes interesting, right? Because now you got to try to lie, really, and when you try to lie, a lot of excess activities happening where it doesn't take you anywhere really, but to more lies. Just like uh was saying earlier, they use nonsense to make sense of things, and that's what I was thinking about that whole thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull something up and show it to you real quick if I can get it up here on the screen, having to do with what we were talking about earlier about radiation and about nuclear energy. Where I got the idea that well, they're not what we're told they are. Let's put it that way. Is from a guy named Galen Windsor. You ever hear of him?
No, they don't ring a bell.
Back in 1985,
Huh.
he was going around doing seminars. Uh, okay, here we go.
Is that Eisenhower?
It's Gavin Windsor or Galen Windsor.
Windsor, okay. Oh boy, there go that pyramid. He's showing you right there. See, this thing right here, I don't know why I do it. I do it naturally, but I see a lot of these people on TV do it. I know they don't do it just for some reason, I don't think they do it naturally. I think they
I do it too, so but I'm not a Freemason.
No, no, I'm not neither. Yeah, it's natural when you do it, right? It's just
But I don't know if he does it. The reason he does it, I have no idea.
it seems like they're showing it. Like
I'm just sharing that this guy was going around giving seminars with radioactive material where he would have people come up and look at his what do you call that thing that makes that noise? That noise. It's a tester for
the actor
radiation.
detector.
Yeah, like, and he would show people the. Do you agree this is a detector and this works? And they're like, yeah. And so what he did there was he ate nuclear waste. He tested it, ate it, and then he put his mouth down by the detector and it went to show that he ate. And he would do this again and again and again to show that this is not what we're told it is. It's not harmful. We eat it every day. It's in our food. It's not what they say it is.
Yeah, the microwave, huh?
But
I would think that if the microwave cooked something, the thing it cooked would be uh ra- radioactive, right?
oh yeah,
I'm just thinking dumb.
you microwaved it. It's like cancer, for example. Okay, radiation when they get a woman gets a mammogram. What do they say? Radiation causes cancer.
Yeah,
So
and
supposedly over in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, when we supposedly bombed them, not supposedly, we did bomb them, but whether they were nukes or not, I have no idea. But supposedly that's a massive amount of radiation. So that means that the cancer rate should have went through the roof for those people over there. Still to this day, should be through the roof. Then
yeah,
why do they give women mammograms and subject them to radiation? And if it's not harmful, why do the doctors leave the room and get behind a protective shield when they do it? So there's so many contradictory
yeah, and
uh, things about this.
yeah. And when you go to the dentist, what do they do? They use the radiation to take the
Yeah,
picture, the X-ray scan, go to TSA, all of that. And it was an interesting thing that popped up in my head while you were saying that is that when that oh Lord, is that gonna get you banned if I say COVID? Oh, you're already banned if I say
no,
I already
COVID,
said
COVID,
it.
COVID, convid,
Okay.
coronavirus.
Okay.
What other ones can we do?
You know,
Suicide, pedophilia. What else?
okay.
Elon Musk.
We don't want to kick big rocks. But what pops into my head was during that time period, Hades always been in crisis. I'm gonna keep bringing Haiti up because that's something I could because I have people that's like I talk to
Right.
just right there. They're telling me, it's something I can't ignore. And during the COVID time, they said, okay, boom. They bring some water to Haiti, some rice, and they said bring in some COVID tests, bring some COVID vaccines so that the Haitians can take the COVID because they got COVID on deck for y'all. Line up, and all they heard back was crickets because there wasn't that one COVID case in Haiti. Even the so-called, they'll try to um, uh, do propaganda and pretend like someone got COVID, this person got the other. They go as far as I believe like some people would die and they would say, "Oh, COVID." Haitian didn't buy it because you know why? Because they was hungry. They didn't want no vaccine. They wanted food. They're not concerned about this mental fuck. Yeah, talking about. They was talking about trying to distribute to the masses. Um, and so, you know, they had a very difficult time trying to first of all, trying to convince the population to take the COVID test or the COVID shot, really the COVID shot. They've sent a whole bunch of COVID vaccines in Haiti, and then not one person wanted to take the COVID shot because they was hungry. They didn't care about the COVID. And when Jonel, the president, he noticed, well, I think, well, by the way he speaks, you can tell that's where he was heading. and he was kind of shying away from the whole vaccination thing because he know what's pointless. I mean, you gotta be a fool to be in Haiti to think that that's a threat, but not one person got COVID. Now they can't propagate that narrative cannot be propagated as as good as it could uh be here like in Palm Beach. You know, I was like the only person in Palm Beach, well, one of the only person in Palm Beach that didn't get arrested but while not wearing a mask because uh, one simple thing I thought about is like, okay, the air been like this since the beginning of time. Can we agree on that or not? Okay, then we solve my case, and that was as simple as that. You know, we always had this air like this forever, right? Anybody? Anybody want to make a case against the case that I'm making? No, nobody. And that was it. And when I wanted to get business handled, I wore the mask like every people that don't want to pick big rocks would do. And as for Haiti, Haitians didn't care about that at all. They still don't. And that got a lot of politicians in trouble, especially when I got assassinated for not, making that mandate of, Haiti is a complicated country because of course, other countries' problem.
You familiar with how do you say this word, Ricardo?
But Jacques,
Jacques in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. It's a
mhm.
star fort.
Yeah, yeah. That's all. It seemed like Haitians just woke up and they be like, "Whoa, what is that?" It's just nice. How did you get here?
Look, yeah, how'd they build that? That's stonework.
Yeah, it's just the sheer, you know, it just appear. It doesn't look like some Haitian stuff. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, it just doesn't.
That's like if you go throughout the United States and you come across, you familiar with Frank Lloyd Wright,
Yeah,
an architect?
yeah. You find out in India, you be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is from India."
Yeah, that's a Frank Lloyd Wright house, or it's a student of his. You can tell the style. It's not like native to that place, native to that place. It's just like a star fort, the same style all over the world,
Yeah,
from
what does it
Haiti to
mean?
Florida to Russia to Europe, everywhere.
I remember somebody was telling me, an elder gentleman a while back, years ago, he was telling me how, you know, a lot of the Haitian government was going after educated Haitian professors and men and that were educated. They was going after him and literally like off him, murk him, kill him. And I always wondered why. And he told me why. And I always kept thinking about that, keep you know dwelling on it. And he told me that because they didn't want anybody to know how to read. It's kind of like the same thing we had here. Like they didn't want black people to know how to read. But this is Haitians that's killing Haitians that the, the non-educated was hired to kill the educated for the purpose of what? Which, that just popped into my head when you showed that.
There's a gentleman named John Taylor Gatto. Grotto? Gatto. Gatto, I think. And this guy rips apart the public education system. And just to sum it up, long story short, because you're talking about learning to read and education and things like this, the public school system universally was created to create workers, to get people used to taking orders, used to doing what they're told, used to being in one location for 8 hours or so. You have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. You get a limited lunch break, just like prison. But that's the public education system. And it's geared towards remembering things by rote, which just means you memorize it. It doesn't mean you understand it. It just means you memorize it for a test. And then you write it down. And then once you're done with the test, you forget it. It's gone.
Yeah,
So you don't really learn anything.
which doesn't really get you very far.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing I will say, like, by the way, I was born in Haiti, by the way. As a small child, 5 years old, I came here. And one thing that's still like relevant to me today, I can say that like the food don't taste like food, especially this the first thing I had noticed, like in my face, I couldn't help it. I still can't help it. Is like the milk I was drinking. That I don't know what that is. I really don't. The milk I had over here versus the milk I had in Haiti. It's just it never it just I don't understand how people drink it and call it milk because it really tastes like water. I could still taste the milk that I'm used to because of that first um, milk exchange I had over here. So it's like it like solidified the fact that this is not milk in my mind because I know it's not milk because I love milk. Used to, by the way. And I know this is not milk. Till this day, it's still the same exact milk.
But hey,
Yeah.
I had a question for you real quick. I noticed, you had your sleeves rolled up, you're dressed real nice and all that. And I definitely respect a man that dresses nice. I like that. Do you have any tattoos, man?
No, no, not one. I just,
I didn't think so. Me neither. Me neither.
yeah, that's just never been my thing. You know, my sisters, my brothers and sisters all have tattoos. I never cared about it.
I'll tell you one thing. As you familiar with the show Family Guy?
The what?
Family Guy, the show
Yeah, Family Guy. Yeah.
that the main character Peter, he always says, "You know what really grinds my gears? I'll tell you what grinds my gears." And I'm just gonna again be straightforward and blunt. White guys that have face tattoos that aren't in gangs, like that musician Post Malone that's got that shit on his face, that bugs me.
You been in prison?
I doubt it.
It's usually people that have been in prison that does that.
Yeah, that's okay. I get that. All right.
Yeah, that's usually on this.
But if you're just a white guy who thinks they're a rapper and you get shit tattooed on your face for what?
Yeah, yeah. It's usually like something happened or it was opposed. It was there's a story behind that. But Gucci Man had the ice cream. Gucci Man. He had the ice cream tattoo in his face. You seen that? He since removed it. He since removed it. Yeah, but he had the ice cream, which,
I don't know what that symbolizes.
the ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, because he's one of them. I like to use the word one of them because he's in the mainstream. He's one of the rappers that came out of nowhere. Really, he's not from Atlanta, Georgia. He's just
Oh, he's
yeah.
one of the
It's the
Jewish
pyramid.
created
Yeah,
rappers. Okay.
yeah. You can see the cone as a pyramid, and Gucci, is the
Oh,
brand, and it's there's a lot to it. And he was, I would say, he was on board with what is being pumped to us like this. But I like Gucci. I listen to a lot of his originals. I find the new ones problematic, but yeah, he's like I was saying earlier about art. Art, you can't deny it if it's actually art, regardless if it's Messiah. or whatever, because they use art in our culture a lot. Like Michel Martelly, the guy that was president for a year or so before they told him, no, we'll give you a pass. You just got to get the hell up out of there. He knew he because he lived in Haiti. He knew he can play around, and he stepped down and allowed the transition. Um, but even the transition, the Haitian wasn't having it too. Uh, I'm only always talking about Haiti because I'm seeing like the things that's happening like in our backyard as far as things that could be I call it the weather uh sport. Haiti is just in the midst of it. It's the main one. It's the sore thumb. And it's actually being ignored, at least as much as possible. I want to go down there, and they make well, it's quite difficult to go down there and um navigate without um getting into the situations that you.
What I know about Haiti comes from you, but it also comes from some research that I did on an organization that you may have heard of called the Clinton Foundation,
Yeah, yeah, the Clintons, there's they're the
otherwise known as a human trafficking organization.
yeah, yeah, and here's the thing with the Clinton, right? There's a rule in Haiti. They're trying to change it. Clintons pour a lot of money and they try to change it because that's like our constitution. Uh, White people could come in Haiti. We love them. We want them to come. We want them to have fun. We want them to create businesses. We want them to build their houses. We want them to do all that, buy lands, all of that. But except they can't just stay here. You get it? They could do everything they want, anything they want. They could do it, but
But you don't want them to live there.
they just can't stay here. They could build a house and everything. You can't live here. And they're trying to change that. And Clinton put a lot of effort and money at this, even though they already snatched mm, a lot of different areas of Haiti, and you know, it's like the army. So you know how secure that is, and how they have buffer zone and everything, and they just can't find a way to really infiltrate to the point that they could be successful at a reasonable, casualty number. So every time they attempt to, and they do come in, they do kill a lot of people, but because of the terrain and all of that, they knew unless it's a genocide or some sort of uh, mass termination, they can't do it. And so that's the issue. But they still got a big chunk of it and, have military bases in there and, you know, really basically fuck up the country because I don't know why I keep talking about that for some reason.
Well, because it's important to you.
Yeah, it's important to me because I actually want to go to Haiti because I see my family, my cousins, my friends that's from Haiti, that knows Haiti, that's in a different part of Haiti, that's not as messed up. They are building stuff and beautiful stuff, by the way. Somewhat nice casinos and hotels and stuff like that. And they're doing it like from the money they making over here. I'm getting some ideas too, like 300, 400, 500,000 could get you something very lavish, um, like hotel like with sub restaurants and all that without worrying about third party like escort or LLC or none of that. It's just in Haiti, you build something, it's yours. Boom. If we got electricity, okay, we got electricity. There's no bill. You're not paying for water, electricity. It's just once they turn it on, they turn it on. It's turned on, it's turned on, it's turned off, it's turned off. Same thing with water. It's a very interesting way of living, and that's the condition that um the Western here wants to change. They want to put us in the labor um way of living, like here, 9 to 5 type stuff. But not only that is it's not feasible for everybody, but those who are capable of doing certain things, I think they should be able to do it. And those who have different skill in different area should be able to do that too, except they take a lot of the things that comes with the island. That's an island thing for a society like Haiti to maintain itself. They actually strip that out and provide their own version of it. Well, I mean, I think Haitians are pretty stupid too in that regard, to actually abandon that way of living, like in farming and farms, because of the, I know it's a psyop, because they made um, farmers have a bad name. Like if you're a farmer, then you are worse than the worst class, which that wasn't a thing. But throughout the years, that became a lot of a propaganda or a psychological war with people, and
Let me
didn't want.
interject something here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you're talking about there about farmers, sort of making it seem sort of like I don't know, like a lowly profession, like fucking farmers, man. Bro, Hawaii, same thing. Same exact thing. There's a mixed martial artist, legendary mixed martial arts fighter named BJ Penn, who actually ran for office. I'm not sure what, maybe governor, but he found out about a lot of stuff that was going on, and he like came up with all these mathematical formulas about how you can feed people by growing food. He's like, you see these coconut trees, you see these banana trees. Why aren't we harvesting them? Why are they rotting on the trees on every corner in Hawaii? And yet people are starving. What is going on here? Why can't we farm? Why are we not promoting farming? And it's almost the same thing as what you're describing.
Yeah, and over here, like in my neighborhood, I'll film it once I get a chance. One like we have coconut trees. Every year a whole bunch of them. They just come in and cut them, and there's a whole bunch of coconut trees like throughout the strip main road.
Just think if everyone harvested that shit that was in their yards.
And exactly. And I have trees in my house. I have coconut, I have mango. A lot of the other ones die. And my mango tree have produced like 3 different type of mango, and it produced a lot of mango.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I give it to my Jewish neighbor all the time, and they always grateful. And they go real big. They never realize. They, well, she told me one time. Um, they didn't know they could grow that big because my mangoes grow real big, and there's different type of mangoes in there. And a funny story with them, I had, you know, with our first moving, when they first moved in, I was already there. Their kids came, they was friends with my kids. They came in, and I was having barbecue, and they wanted to eat some barbecue, so I put some on the table for them, and they ate. Oh, they loved it. They wanted some more. I gave them some more, and
What were you barbecuing? Just curious. What was the meat?
oh, it was pork.
No way.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. when I was talking to their moms, and I said, "Oh, they love ribs," and she actually, yeah, what kind of ribs? I said, yeah, it's pork. It's, and she said, we're Jewish. I said, yeah, I know. And she said, we don't eat pork. I said, oh, I think that was beef.
Wow.
I couldn't get out of that. But she didn't mind. She knew I didn't know. I
Should have
didn't
been
think
like, yeah, sin, it does a body good.
yeah, I
Get
felt
back on track.
embarrassed because I didn't know the difference. I still don't. So you know, yeah, but we cool now, you know.
I could tell you the story behind that, but let's get back to Haiti. And it's not cool to be a farmer in Haiti. It's
Yeah,
not actually. It's not, actually. I think everything in my mind comes down to money. And so it's not. If
damn.
you want to get rid of farming, just make it not feasible to be a farmer.
That's
Make it,
exactly
you know.
that's exactly what occurred. It's like man, like rice, Haiti, we had I mean, we was feeding Dominican and other countries with our rice, but then Monsanto came with their rice, and as a matter of fact, they didn't even hold up to their promise to have, even if they did start growing their rice, but that's not what they did. They started it, and the whole earth um, went to shit. It's not like it was able to handle certain crops anymore for some reason. I don't know exactly how that occurred, how that happened. And there's a lot of stuff that can't be grown in the soil anymore. And till now, our food, we used to be able to maintain ourselves as far as food concerned, but now everything got to be shipped to us as if we're not sitting on our own
Mm-hmm.
piece of land that could produce all of that.
To go back into your Jewish neighbor topic. All right. I saw interviews with I guess what we'll call them Talmudic Jews, Jews that live by the Talmud, live by the Torah. They ask these people, what do you think of non-Jews? And they say, we Jews are human beings. God created us in his image. We are kind to one another. We love one another. And then they say, what do you think of non-Jews? They say, well, non-Jews are not human beings. Non-Jews are sent here to serve the Jew.
Oh, okay.
Non-Jews are what we call the goyim. They are the cattle. They are the beasts in the field. All right. Now, in the
You're pulling
Quran,
it
I don't know
in.
if you've ever read the Quran. I've read the Quran a couple times. In
No,
the
I dabble with it, but no, no.
in the Quran, there's a story. All right. So in the Torah, which the Quran is an extension of the Torah, which the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. You are not, if you are of the Abrahamic religion, which Christians are from the Abrahamic religion, Jews are from the Abrahamic religion, and Muslims are from the Abrahamic religion. If you are from that religion, you are not to eat the flesh of an animal that has a cloven hoof, meaning pigs.
That have what?
Cloven hooves, which means a pig. Pigs have cloven hooves. You're not to eat that meat. And the reason why, there's a story in the Quran. There was once an evil group of people, and I'm just paraphrasing this. There was an evil group of people that God punished. They had very dark skin. He turned them into pigs. Because those pigs were once men, now they're not, the Muslims are forbidden from eating pigs. Check this out though. Follow this line of thinking.
Okay.
Did you know that if you are in a hospital dying and you've lost a lot of blood, pig's blood can be given to you and you will survive.
I did not know that.
Pigs are the closest animal to human beings. Like,
No, they told us all it was monkey.
no, pigs.
So it's not King Kong.
King Kong. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because there's still monkeys and there's still pigs. So there goes the theory of evolution.
Yeah, evolution would mean that there's no God, and I had a religious person answer me when I asked him where all this came from. He said evolution, and I looked at him and I said, "Your argument is based on Jesus Christ and God, right? And how could you claim evolution?" Yeah, they're confused. You know, they're confused. You know, the brainwash gotten so bad, so deep to the point where it doesn't make any sense anymore. And uh, that's why I say if somebody's serious, they'll figure it out on their own. And you know, I find that people that seem to be goofy really are like the serious people. I guess because they figure something out or they see something that others don't see or they're able to see something and be okay with the whole contradiction and be goofy about it. And some people can't. They just they think some people think they're serious, but they're actually not. They just yeah,
What
yeah.
about this goofy?
Look at that. But this boom.
Here we go.
Now we're talking.
This this is part of a culture. Okay, this is part of how these people are brought up. And I actually had a couple students who were Mari who had facial tattoos like this. Well,
I
hell,
guess I guess
let me look her up. I'll see if she's on here. Lady Crown is her name.
let me
That's
check.
Lady Crown. I doubt we're gonna. There she is. There she is again. Is she in this picture? Yep, there she's right there.
Let me
Nice
see it.
flag. What's going on with that flag,
Where is
bro?
she?
She's right here,
She's very far. Okay.
right there.
Mhm.
Do you know who John Manoa is? He
Oh,
claims to be the true king.
True King, huh?
Yeah,
True King of what?
not like that false king, Chucky.
I mean, all kings are false kings, if you ask me. But
Uh, John Manoa. Is that him? Not Winona. What the hell, bro?
actually, I
All right, I have no idea what's going on here.
what things seem to be off. They switch up on you.
I think so, unless I don't know how to spell the dude's name. John Wanoa.
Using Google.
Maori King. Maori King. Maori movement. I don't know. All right, I'm done looking for this. Spent too much now space on it already.
Yeah. And
But I mean, this was huge a couple years ago. I mean, you could look up these names and all kinds of pictures would show up.
yeah.
Now there's nothing there.